All right, it was a hard-fought, tough game against a good team that's experienced, and I don't need a little number next to their name to know that they have a good team, but everyone thinks they have a good team. But it was physical. Thought it was a physical game. We competed at a high level for the most part. Got off to a slow start, found our groove, and then, we had to make some changes from a personnel standpoint, just with foul trouble and fatigue also, but with foul trouble, and then we kind of fell out of the groove that we had. But we got some good stuff happening offensively in the first half. Did a good job defensively as well. If you could go back in time and just even cut the second chance points in half. Thought we had 4 layups that we missed in the first half, and then the complexion of the game at halftime maybe is a little bit different. And then see what that looks like in the second half. But it was a hard-fought game. We showed some growth in some areas. I was pleased with that, but I'm never pleased when you put yourself in a position to win the game and then you don't get it done. So.
Questions, David?
Lamont, Nick gets 2 fouls early and then the third in the first half. Just how much did that take out of what you guys wanted to do when he was on the bench for a lot of the game?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I thought we could throw the ball inside, and we got some really good looks around there. So it was a little harder to do that with some of the stuff that we had. So we played a little bit different that way, but I don't think that affected us that much in the first half. I thought we didn't play great, in terms of just performance. There's performing and then there's playing. Playing is what kind of shot do you generate? You cut hard, you screen well, you did this, you did that. And then that generates a shot. That's playing well, even if the shot doesn't go in, because you're still playing well. But then there's performing, which makes the ball go in the basket. And then we had some real great opportunities where we didn't perform. We didn't perform well. One guy comes off the bench, he got 2 layups. Colin gets a layup early on. Nick gets a layup early on in the game. And I thought we played well in the first half. Once we got down 7-0, but I thought we played pretty well in that first half, and probably deserved to be in a better spot than what we were at halftime.
Questions, John?
A lot of live ball turnovers from you guys tonight. They scored 20 off the turnovers. How big of a deal was that, and where did it come from?
Well, it's a big deal. I mean, they scored 20 points off of live ball not 20 points off of live ball turnovers. That's not accurate, is it?
Well, 20 points off the turnovers, but
Okay.
a lot of live ball turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a couple things that say if you do these things, you're not going to win probably. One of them's turn the ball over a lot, particularly in live ball turnover situations. So, and those are the ones that I'm most concerned with, the live ball ones. Like scoring points off turnover is, I throw it to you, you pick 6 it, and you go down and score. I mean, you dribble off your foot out of bounds, that possession was going to happen. It's probably more of a lost possession for you than it is a gained possession for the other team necessarily. But so I would be interested in how many were live balls, but there were way too many. I thought they picked up the pressure in the second half, and we stopped moving. We were moving really well in the first half, and cutting and getting the floor spaced, and Colin was able to drive when that space happened. And then in the second half, I don't know if it was fatigue or the pressure affected us, even just with some lazy passes. Just with not finishing strong around the basket. A couple times I thought there was some contact, if I'm allowed to say that, but I mean, one time it just seemed like there was. But we got to be strong. I think if they're going to crowd, I think you should pass. Because sometimes you get fouled and it's not called. That's just the way the game goes. Yeah, we can't turn the ball over like that. We just didn't even look, a couple guys in certain points didn't look aggressive. You have to have like a game, not game face, but you gotta have a mean grizzle on your face sometimes, just to let people know you mean business. You don't take the ball from me. Yeah, you gotta let people know you mean business. And at times, it didn't look like, we had a couple guys that had that look on their face.
David?
Lamont, it seemed like sometimes, as much as Colin can do, that maybe sometimes the other guys just kind of wait for him to do something instead of maybe trying to help him out a little bit more.
I don't know. I don't, that's your assessment. I don't think I subscribe to that one particularly. Colin's gonna do a lot for us, but, you know, we had other guys that did some stuff. Some guys I'd like to be more aggressive, like Jamari had some situations that, why aren't you coming off the ball screen? It's set up exactly how you'd like. Right? Your man's on the proper side of it, the screen is set. Like, let's use that thing and be aggressive. That's what we brought you here for. I do think some guys should be more aggressive. He's one of them in particular. I think he's got to be more aggressive, and then he's got to be efficient. You know, he made a move at the end and turn the ball over, but we're going to need him to be aggressive. A couple guys. Zach was aggressive once in the second half there and made a nice drive to the basket, and strong move, strong finish. We need Colin to do a lot for us, but we got a lot of other guys too. I mean, they all know. I don't think anybody's waiting particularly. I think guys, you know, maybe the moment got to a couple guys, but you got to be aggressive. This is what college basketball is. That's why you came here. This is what you want to play for, is these environments and against a good team, and it's a tight game, and hey, you got to make a play. You got to make a shot. You got to attack. You have to, you know, throw the ball to the same guy wearing the same colored jersey as you. And I just, you know, there was something to be left to be desired in those ways.
Gentleman in the middle on the purple shirt.
Yeah, but in the losses you've had this year, has there been a kind of one or two elements that are in all three losses that you're not doing quite as well as in the games you won?
You know, nothing that I've identified specifically. It's a small sample size. It's been a couple different things, you know. There was a lot of turnovers that led to points in this one. Other times it's been, I mean, there've been other times that it's been, I don't know, didn't shoot the ball well, or other times where it's been, you know, defensive discipline. That's been one. I thought we were much better in terms of our defensive discipline. That was real growth. I think that took place as a group. Still had a couple times here and there where it was not a physical breakdown, but just a mental breakdown. But way less of those than what we had in some of our other games. So, you know, I don't know. I haven't looked at it specifically. I'm just looking for growth in our team in a couple different areas. Certainly there was some of that in this game. But you got to combine that growth with also, you know, playing pretty well. And I mean, performing. I didn't think we performed very well today overall.
How different or not is this team this year from the team that you beat Virginia Tech and Charlotte last year?
My team this year versus my team last year, you know, completely different. I'm sure they are too, just not only on the raw numbers of the faces on the team, but the makeup of our team this year is a lot different than last year. You know, I think we have more length, size, and athleticism this year. There were certain situations where skill led the way for us last year. We don't have a young team. We don't have an inexperienced team. We were extremely experienced last year, though, and those guys have really mastered how to manipulate the game so that it favored them. I mean, they were really good at that, and so we're still trying to figure that out for us. What where it is for us, what the winning really looks like, the things that pave the way for consistent winning. We still got some guys trying to figure out, the coaches know what it is, or what we think it should be with this group, but we got a couple guys that still got to figure out how they can help that happen.
Anything else for Coach? Questions?
Yeah,
John?
What does tomorrow look like for you guys? I mean, I'm not trying to sound dramatic, but it's a 3-3 record now.
Who cares?
Does your
I mean,
leadership, you have leadership on your team last year. Do you,
Yeah.
you have that this year to
Yeah.
kind of step
I mean,
in?
I guess who cares is probably not a fair response. I mean, I'm old, so of course I don't care. I mean, I'd like to be 6-0, but I know neither of those matter. Again, which is why I say we have to be so focused on the growth of where we are and where we will end up being. It's the beauty of basketball, playing at this level. They'll wait on you to get exactly where you need to be, as long as you get there in a reasonable amount of time. You can't start to turn it up 30 games into the season, unless you just want to bet on yourself to win the conference tournament. But you are able to play 2 ranked teams away from home and not win them. You're allowed to do that and grow from it, and then play better, and then ultimately figure out exactly who you are, and then hopefully win a bunch of games. You're allowed to do that, and so that's what we're doing. But I mean, the reason why I say it's probably not probably not a fair response is because these guys are going to look and say, hey, we're 3-3. I thought we'd be 6-0 by now, maybe. So that's part of our job, is to make sure that they're not saying that. But there's not one adult in our camp that has looked at the record